Hey, what's up, everybody? We got a DENDAO call to do, so let's do it. I'm not going to have my camera on. Joe's here. He's not going to have his camera on, I think. Oh, I'm Dave, in case you've forgotten. I ain't been around in a while, but I'm still here.
Hey, Dave.
So, yeah, we're going to do an audio-only DENDAO call.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, you're good to go.
Okay,
you sound
right.
You sound like you're in a car, so you probably are.
Yes.
And, yeah, so there's going to be a few things on the agenda, and then we'll talk about a few things that have come up in the past week, and should be pretty straightforward. I think I Am might come up in a little bit as well, and if you would like to join this call, let me just share my screen here. There's a DENDAO post that goes up, and there's a link in there to join the call as well. Speaking of people joining from their car, and the only one today with their camera on, I Am is here with us as well. Hey, thanks for joining the call.
Hey,
Good
guys.
To see you. Good to see you.
Can I get a mic check? Can you hear me okay?
100%. Yep.
Good.
We are good to
It's actually not
go.
coming through there. So.
Is that a HODL hat?
Yeah, it is. It's an old one. It's kind of warped right here.
I was just reading on, I think it was Global Crypto Press that, or somewhere, that HODL might be the ticker if a Bitcoin ETF does finally get approved. That HODL could be the ticker. That would be badass, I thought.
That would be badass. Wow.
Yep.
Makes sense.
Cool. So we've got a couple of things on the agenda, some pretty routine things that you might expect. Like, for example, let me just bring the agenda up here. And again, this is where the link is to join the call. Anybody can do that. You can also throw some comments in chat or in the reply section below it. But right up top, there is December LCP is open. So if you click over on the little checkbox circle, there is an active LCP if you want to vote in that. I think I've got mine open here. Yes, here. So 4 days left in that. If you look at the countdown up there, and it looks like podcasts, which almost won last time, is currently in the lead for the winner with the most lore, if nothing else changes, which I'm sure it will. Whistleblower, probably the one I'm personally more interested in. I love my podcasts, but I selfishly want whistleblowers because it's more relevant to me, and I haven't been listening to podcasts anyway. So it's all about me. That's what I want.
I think we were talking about there are enough people in whistleblower. We should probably just put in the matter to turn it on. I mean, if it doesn't win.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Yeah, I got my money on censorship.
Yeah.
Anything and everything, news about censorship, someone who's been censored.
And I think it doesn't even need to necessarily be, I mean, they could go a few different ways. It doesn't have to necessarily be like a repository for like dead drops for whistleblowing or anything like that. It could literally just be information about how you would go about whistleblowing.
Right.
You need access to that information. I imagine things like, hey, how do you stay safe? How do you, a little bit of crossover with the security and privacy layers. How do you use Tor? How do you access, if you wanted to dead drop to the New York Times on their Tor dead drop, which they do have, how do you go about doing that? That's the kind of thing that I think would be, yeah. Well, I mean, it is what it is. But yeah, so it could be information about it, debates about whether or not whistleblowing is something that is right or not, whether or not people should get punished for it. I've got a few probably spicy opinions on that. So I would jump into that right away.
Oh yeah.
To talk about stuff. I think I've got some opinions that people on either side of that would probably not like, which is great. I'd love to talk
and
about
actually it. And probably people on both sides would actually agree with.
Yep.
Common sense.
Not to just bump one proposal, but that was Aladetta proposed that, and I think it's a great idea. Podcast, awesome. Running, I don't do enough of it. 3D printing, I like additive manufacturing as a concept. I would probably build a house that way. That's pretty cool tech. Pakistan, I like the idea of having a place for people to not just organize, but to talk about their home or their culture, or maybe if they're interested in it, to ask questions. So that's great. Book club, I had tried to start one already and realized that time was not infinite. So I'd be interested to see if somebody else wanted to do that. And this one right here, how do you pronounce this? Philosophia Novus.
Yeah, that was Cerebral did that
yes,
one.
It was.
Proposed that one.
Yeah, and they would need to be the ones to pronounce it correctly, I think. So there's your top 8 Wizards and Wands, Ask Den, and Antiwork. Little disappointed that Antiwork didn't immediately get pushed in when it was topical. That was added.
I thought it was going to. I thought it was going to win months and months ago, but
me too.
Yeah, that was right whenever it got banned from Reddit. So of course we were like, oh yeah, let's see if people want it over here. So there's your top 10 by.
Hold on, time out, back up. It got banned on Reddit.
Antiwork, yeah.
For what reason?
That's why it's here. Oh, it was too, I don't know, extreme. It was too interesting. It was too it was not vanilla enough of a conversation. You know what I mean? Didn't toe the line. Yeah, it got banned, which is ironic because like the anti-work people are typically opposite of like the Trump people, and both of those Reddits got subreddits got banned. And I don't know. I just feel like that's kind of the reason that Den's here in the first place. Is like, like it's not just one side of like politically the thing. It's like no, everyone's getting kind of this sort of, like you said, censorship or whatever you want to call it, treatment. But yeah, look it up. They were on Fox News.
Wow.
There's actually somebody from that subreddit went on the news to talk about it, and that itself was
controversial.
Yeah, that itself was controversial because guess what? Reddit doesn't have a way for people to organize and elect fairly who represents them, like Den does. So if they had been in a layer where they could elect someone to represent them and to vote on who put up a GI, who should go on the news and talk about us. They didn't have that. So it was just kind of like the mods were like, this person.
Well, you've given me another to-do item on my list. I got to reach out to these people and say, hey, come on over here. I got to find out where they're at, where they're assembling.
Like, I don't know if they even are organized anywhere else. It would take some
Right.
work. It would take some work to reorganize, and they are
Right.
anti that, I guess.
Huh.
So in the unique voters category, there's some of the same ones, but also stuff like biohacking, which is pretty cool.
That'd be pretty interesting.
And yeah, so you can see they go out of order. Like it'll jump down to number 36 or number 47 by lore ranking.
When's the cut on the voting?
4 days.
4 days. Okay.
Yeah, this
It's
countdown right
Tuesday
here.
morning, I think, sometime.
Okay.
Tuesday morning.
Yep, something like that. So there's the status on that. Really quickly, there is a couple of things I wanted to hit on that are not on the agenda. One of them is that I just wanted to put out that we're aware that there were some payout misses. So it's not that that's being overlooked. It's just that we're making sure that everything's right. Anything that got missed does get reaccounted for. If there's ever an issue where there's like a skip day or two, then the system does like pick up where it left off and make up for it once it gets back on track. There was also some, Joe, do you know if the Ethereum matter minting got resolved? I think that was simply a matter of
It did. It popped up significantly, the total token count.
okay.
Okay.
And I
I
think
saw it on the Etherscan that it clicked.
that one was pretty simple. Everything that Den has running on Ethereum side does cost gas. And so there are occasionally times when the contract minting it runs out of gas. We just got to refill it. So that's basically all that is. And then it catches back
And
up.
there are also times when the current gas might be above the threshold, so it says, "Well, I'm not running it."
Right.
And I can't remember. There's something else too, and there's only a window of time that it can call it every day. So if it misses it, it can't call it, some other time. 6 hours later, it has to wait till the next day. But the next day, it will, the contract knows, okay, it missed. That's why we can do it weekly instead of daily now. But it can do 7,000 instead of 1,000.
I noticed it a long time ago, and I kept forgetting to mention it.
Yeah. I can't remember who. If somebody, I can't remember if this is a support email or something. But yeah, that
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know that either. What else do we
There was
have?
also, I wanted to say one more thing too. Let me just find it real quick on my screen. If you are, because this was another issue that it wasn't really an issue, it was just kind of an organizational issue that came up. If you pull up, yes. So there's a contract, and this is getting a little bit technical, but I wanted to just mention it while we're talking about token stuff. If you go to, you have to do some digging to find it, but if you go to the Matter contract, you can find the contract that's, you'll see deposit withdrawal, right, as a method. And that's the contract that whenever you put Matter into Den or take Matter out of Den, that's the contract that handles that between Dragon Chain system and Ethereum's system. And so if you want to withdraw some Matter, and let's say you have quite a bit you want to withdraw, like let's say you have, 3,000 Matter, and you want to withdraw it from Den out to Ethereum, or more, whatever, you should come to this contract and you should check this spot out right here to see how many Matter are currently in the withdrawal deposit contract. The reason for that is DENDAO does not keep the 100% full amount of Matter that exists on Ethereum that belongs, that is like credited to people that have it internal to Den. Let me rephrase that. When you earn Matter, when you mine Matter on Den, it's represented in Den internally and it's represented on Ethereum in a multi-sig. To withdraw it, there's a contract called the deposit withdrawal contract, and it only has a certain amount in it. That's just a security thing, just in case anything on the worst case happens that we don't predict. That's the maximum amount that's at risk at any time. That's in a contract that's not in a multi-sig kind of thing, right?
Good to
If
know.
you try to pull out more matter than is in that, it'll fail. That's all I was going to say. So this has got a bunch in there right now because we recently refilled it. There's 42,000 matter in that contract. Should be plenty for anybody that wants to take out some matter, put some back in. About 2 weeks ago, it was down to like, I don't know, like a couple thousand, and somebody was trying to take out 7,000 matter, and it was failing. And then it was like locked, and then we had to unlock it, and then they tried to pull it out again before we got the multi-sig signed to put matter into the contract. So it was like a back and forth just because they didn't understand, like, no, there's a certain amount that you should check if you have a high withdrawal. And so it's just a safety that's in place, and it exists in this contract. So if you ever want to see, hey, I've got this exorbitant amount of matter I want to take out. Right now, I don't think anybody has that amount except maybe a couple of accounts. So you should be able to do whatever you want to do. But that's it.
And that 42,000 that's there right now, that's still part of the complete total of 1.3 million, whatever it is.
Yeah,
That's
it is.
part of that.
It's a subset of the amount that is on Ethereum.
Right.
Some of it's here, some of it's in the multi-sig, the DENDAO multi-sig, and the rest of it is in people's individual Ethereum wallets. There's the three places for that. So I don't know if that was clarifying or confusing, but I just wanted to say that
it was good.
If you run into that and it's like you don't know why, that could be why. All right, so that's what I got. And I've been yapping for a minute, so let me just take a back seat for a minute, and then you guys can yap. What's up with you?
I can bring up one thing I wanted to make sure you guys knew, and that everybody knows, that I don't have a date or time yet, but there is there's an account on X, on Twitter, that essentially has been mostly looking at the Twitter algorithm, various shadow banning and other things. And in fact, some much bigger accounts have stolen some of that and acted like they discovered it themselves. But anyway, this account was posting information about issues with X's community guidelines system, or sorry, community notes system, and that it's apparently getting gamed right now. And so I am DM'd this account, and they responded and said, oh yeah, what do you have? And so I basically listed the fact that it's based upon content. Every piece of content has a prediction market applied to it. And I kind of explained it as best I could in DM, said probably best on a call or something, if it makes sense, if it's useful to you, whatever. So they essentially said, hey, why don't we get on a Spaces, right? Talk about this. It would be interesting. And so he or she, I assume it's a he, I don't know, wanted to do it tomorrow, but there's a family event tomorrow, so I couldn't. So we're going to do it next week, I think. I will post it on. You can still hear me, right?
Yes.
Sorry, I had a call coming in on this. So I will post it on the on Den. I don't actually know where I should post it. Maybe marketing it with Den, and maybe the regular Den channel. But it would be good to have people, on that call and or on that Spaces, and just see how it goes. I don't know who else would be on it,
Definitely.
Yeah, I'll be there, even if just to listen in. I mean, anytime that I can listen to Joe talk about prediction markets, I'm there, man. But no, that's
Exciting
interesting because I wonder, even if Den's system could be used just for the community notes portion of X, that would already be massive.
Right.
Just as a technology to adopt to help fix that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Interesting that to put that into that blows my mind that this idea, this concept isn't more prevalent out there in the world. So
It's hard to wrap your head around, especially since
Sure.
everything's been done a certain way for so long.
sure. Just the wisdom of the crowd is so powerful. So
Yeah,
as well
let
as
us, let
the
us know about that. I think putting that in the den layer, just the regular den layer, would be the most visibility.
agreed. Agreed.
That's one, that's one that people are
Okay.
auto subbed to, and
True.
it would probably get the most if you're sorting by time and not by by hotness. By the way, speaking of hotness, I had the top post that came up when I happened to open Den was this one. So I figured I would read it, give Unicorn a bump here, even though it looks like she doesn't need one. There's 47,000 energy on it. It's a tattoo of scissoring. It says, my daughter got this matching tattoo today with her best friend. She said something about how they're both crafty and her best friend wants to be a hairstylist. But honestly, do any of you other moms know if this is a devil symbol or anything? I just want to protect my little girl from Satan. So if you can't see it, it's a picture of two scissors scissoring. So her and her best friend got it. Matching tattoos. I thought it was funny. It's cute if you like gay jokes.
Nice.
Right. So that was just the first one that popped up when I sorted by popularity.
Cool.
And the most recent one, since I'm going by popularity, the most recent one is from Crypto Navigator in cryptocurrency, who wants us to click on a link. That might be spam. I don't know. Maybe not. I have to check it out. Sourceless is transforming communication with their revolutionary domains. Yeah. Well. All right. That's what you get when you look at the fire hose mode.
Yeah.
But Belmar's got an actual photo that's not spam. Looks like two photos.
How do you do two photos like that again?
That match up together.
Yeah, that's really cool.
I think you just attach two of them, and that happened to line up.
True. You
I
hit
don't know
add.
if you meant to do
You
it.
hit add once and then add again another photo.
No, you can just select. If you're on desktop, you can select two. If you're on a mobile, you can I think like select from your gallery and select
Okay.
up to 4.
Okay.
I think that was just a Bob Ross moment there. I think that's
that is really cool.
Happy little accident that they lined up.
That is really cool.
It must be storming there or something, or raining at least.
It's been raining here. That's for sure. Cool.
All right. Well, that's what's been going on. That's the December LCP. That's some upcoming space information, so look out for that. What else is it? That's some info on how to check the withdrawal contract. That is my commentary on all of the above.
Okay.
Also, maybe in April, if you happen to be traveling to the Austin area.
Oh, yeah.
Or around about that time, or that area rather, for the solar eclipse. Maybe we can all meet up at a park somewhere, or I know that's within driving range for several denizens. So there might be an unofficial or an official, I don't know, denizen.
Yeah, be cool. I'd like to meet up with you all.
Yeah.
Our plan is to definitely get an hour west of where we're at, so we'll be in the black zone.
Yeah, I got to look at that. I'm flying into Austin.
Okay.
My wife and I. So
cool.
Not to dox my itinerary, but there you go.
Right.
That'd be cool. We have a little den meetup. We'll see who can show up. Maybe Jacob Wayne could come out.
Yeah.
Maybe maybe Sean could come over.
I definitely want to meet up with you guys when you're here. So I'll make whatever arrangements I have to meet up with you guys.
All right. Well, maybe we can draw a big Venn diagram on the map and see where everyone's range overlaps.
Right. Well, Jacob Wayne and I are both in the same city now, so
Oh, cool. Far out.
yeah. Okay, cool.
All right. That might be it.
Yeah, the only item I had was just to continue the conversation about decentralization. I just want to keep that on our forethought in our minds. There are some other social media sites that have kind of struggled or have they're nothing like Den at all, of course, but that are touting or talking about being decentralized. And I think that's critical for Den's growth and to attract people who have been censored. It's the niche that I would like to see us be in. It's on our front page of the website when you open it, Den.Social, as well as the idea of the community being able to self-censor themselves.
Yeah, and I think that last thing you said that's exactly what I was going to say. The important takeaway is that, for me anyway, is that yeah, you might get censored on Den, but it's going to be by your own community, not by somebody who's like, centralized,
an overlord,
over
centralized. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And that's the reason for me. One of the biggest reasons that it's so interesting is because with a system like that, you can invite in all sorts of ideas, even terrible ones, because the terrible ones will go away. It'll get taken care of by their own community, because people generally don't want to see that shit if it's that bad.
Yeah, exactly. And then as well as a community that might, you're building a community, kind of like the subreddit thing that we were just talking about earlier, the anti-work, people. Well, they would have their own community. And so those people who didn't agree with that, they wouldn't have to subscribe to that community and can continue on their way and let the others commingle. And
yeah, you can also just not look at that stuff if you don't like it.
Exactly.
I wish more people would take that stance.
Exactly. So I think that's a really
that come off on its face as maybe really bad, but once you dig into it, you find out that no, somebody just told you it was bad, and you didn't actually learn about it for real until you actually allow some light onto it. So, and you never know what those are going to be.
Right. And so we have some interesting times, and Den could position itself to certainly blossom and grow very quickly. That's what we're all hoping for. Did we lose Joe? Is he still here?
Nope, I'm still here.
Okay.
I'm driving.
Good.
Yeah, so I mean that's it. I guess hopefully we'll get in that spaces next week. I should say also at some point I didn't talk to you, Dave. We are I am 4am and I are working on a couple of things on the outside that it's still a long shot, but to bring in a couple of people that should be on Den that aren't, and it's a process of getting them to understand why they should consider it. So
yeah, whatever I can help with. I think I know one of them, which would be super interesting. So yeah.
Yep. Cool deal.
Good. Good.
Okay, so I'll sign off. I'll see you guys soon. All right.
Yep. Likewise. Thanks, everybody.
With that y'all weird song that we do.
Be safe.
So here's Into the Dragon. See y'all next time.
Because that goal will serve to organize and measure the best.
Adaptable, all capital, label radical yet rational. A tactical approach is palpable if this animal is fallible, but that conclusion is laughable. So with for all detachable from the mandible, you see it now.